Welcome to Meaningful Mornings, a special Meaningful Mornings for I wish you all a joyous Bhagwan Hanumana Jayanti. Today's Hanumanji's birthday. After Sampati had shared with Bhagwan Hanumana and others that he can see Bhagavad Gita. She is 800 miles away in Lanka. Bhagwan Hanumana and others were trying to figure out how can they go there to protect her. Some were sharing, I can make my way there, but I'll fall into the ocean. Another shared, I can make my way to Lanka, but how will I come back? During this time, Bhagwan Hanumana was silent. He was listening and reflecting. This reflecting made him receptive. And so, Jambavan noticed Bhagwan Hanumana and whispered in his ear, Rama Kaja Karibeko Atura. You're reflecting on why you were born. You were born to do Bhagwan Rama's work. Your purpose is to serve Bhagwan Rama. You are alive to be one with joy. And when Bhagwan Hanumana registered this Upadesha or advice, he just started to grow. His inner world grew so much that it forced his outer world to grow. His lungs, his muscles. And he felt such empathy that he jumped onto a hillock and said, Jai Shri Ram. And he went towards Lanka, and there he was able to protect Bhagavad Gita and so much more. All of us are Hanuman, and I mean this in a very language orientation. Hanu means chin. Man means hats. So all of us are Hanuman also. However, what's different between Bhagwan Hanumana and Hanuman is that he knew and felt his purpose. We are trying to know, trying to feel our purpose. One of the best descriptions of Bhagwan Hanumana is Dasa Shiromani. Dasa means servant or the one who serves. Shiraha, that means head or topmost. Mani means the diamond, the best. Bhagwan Hanumana is the greatest icon of service, of purpose. Please relax the body, enjoy the breath, and receive with the mind. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nija Manu Mukuru Sudhari Baranau Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanujanike Sumirau Pavana Kumara Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kale Sabika. Please celebrate with me. Pavanatanaya Sangata Harana Mangalamuratiru Ramalakana Sita Sahita Hridaya Basau Surabupa Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai. Pavanasuta Hanumana Ki Jai. Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Bolo Bhai Sab Santan Ki Jai. And Aaj ke Anand Ki Jai. I cannot envision a better way to celebrate the Jayantis of Bhagwan Rama, Bhagwan Hanumana, etc. than meaningful mornings and what our community facilitates, because we're trying to become more godly. We are God. We're trying to know and feel this more. Buddhi is our intellect. Dhriti is like our mind. I'd shared in the past that our intellect is like a supervisor in our system, and the mind is like a manager in our system. Who is supposed to be directing who? The buddhi is to be directing, the dhriti is to be following. Shri Krishna is sharing what dhriti, that is determination or following, looks like for the one filled with quietness. They have a holding power. They're able to hold that vision and let it flow to mission and action. This holding power in Sanskrit can be described as a patra. A patra means a vessel or a pot. If you are to carry water in your hands, as tightly as you grip it, eventually it will fall through your cracks or even into your hands. But if you have a metal pot, that holding power is much more to be able to hold a vision and implement that. And most practically, what happens with this holding power? One starts to change their vasanas, their print, that I am not lazy, I am not aggressive, I am quiet, and this momentum will lead me to silence. For those who practice contemplation, if you can't hold the feeling that you are infinite, you can't re-become infinity then. That's why I forever caution all seekers from engaging in practices that distract you. It is dissolving your holding power. Shri Krishna uses a powerful word that is avyabhicharini. Avyabhicharini, in your translation, is unswerving. More physically, it is being straight. The implication of this is a single purpose, ananya. We have come across this word in chapter 13, where Shri Krishna shares knowledge is bhakti avyabhicharini. It is to love the higher alone, not also. Sharing this in our lifestyle way, the one who's filled with quietness is committed, and their commitment inhibits them from compromising. Here I obviously am defining compromise in the negative. One more way to reflect, and I'm giving the most time and effort towards sattva, because that's what we want. That's what we need. Why should I give as much time and effort to aggressiveness and laziness? When one has an ideal that is clear, it makes them immune to negativity. It makes them immune to worldliness. When my intuition is, I breathe, I think for divinity, this makes me immune to that which is not divine. I'd shared this in our Narada Bhakti Sutta course, that if one applies the oil of Narayana on them, imagine you're applying that on you through thinking, speaking, acting. Then, as you go about in the water of the world, that water doesn't directly touch you then, correct? Because that oil is there. So the water of the world doesn't get absorbed into you because of this immunity. Buddhi and Vritti are not different. Purpose pulls, performance. Shri Krishna now shares what happens when one gets distracted. Aggressiveness is another word for extroversion, which is another word for distraction. Verse 34. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan tan dhritya dharayate arjuna prasangena phalakankshi dhiti sa partha rajasi. Joy. I am reading the translation. I feel just by knowing the sattvic determination, you will naturally know what's going to be shared in the rajasic and tamasic. Do you agree? But the fortitude, O Arjuna, by which one holds fast to duty, pleasure, and wealth from attachment and craving for the fruits of actions, O Partha, is rajasic, aggressive. Zooming into two aspects of this verse that are very evident, but we have to know the language a little bit. The one who is filled with aggressiveness lives for three purposes. It's stated here, dharma, artha, and kama. What's missing? They're not living for moksha. In English, they're living for dharma. I will state that as position. If you go to your local college, university, and ask someone, why are you a student? I'm quite sure they will share to get a job. Not to learn about them, not to learn about life, but to get a job, position. Then artha, that's possession, and kama, that's pleasure. This is a most overt gauge of whether one is quiet or aggressive. Those who are living to not be born again, that is moksha or peace, you're sattvic. If that's not your intuition, then you are rajasic. Who's stating this? Shri Krishna in his final message. This whole chapter is his final message. One more insight. In the second line, there are insights like attachment to the action, attachment to the result. Such a personality doesn't have intuition that actions and results are changing. They are constantly changing. They don't get it. That's why they're attached. I'm reading to you an awesome quote, which was shared with all of you. I'd read it from Pujaswami Tejomayananda's writing. Thousands of kings have come and gone. Kingdoms have changed hands. But the rule of my Lord has not changed, nor will it ever change. The one filled with aggressiveness doesn't get it. From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to dress in blue and green. How many of you did dress in blue and green? How many people around you noticed you were dressing in blue and green by show of hands? Here's an insight about Earth Day, Earth Long Weekend, Earth Life. Obsess is a word that the lazy use to describe the dedicated. Those who are living by Earth life or loving Earth, lazy people call them obsessed. Actually, they're dedicated to those lazy people. Lazy people and dedicated people live on the same Earth. Your application for this morning, there are many, so please listen carefully. Today is such a day of celebration, starting with last week when we celebrated Bhagwan Rama's Jayanti. It was April 16th. We wanted to release the recordings of chapter 16 through Meaningful Mornings, but so much celebration was happening last week, so we're releasing it today. It's Hanumanji's birthday and you get a gift. So your application is please subscribe to Chinmay Niagara's YouTube channel. There's so many changes we're making to the channel for this to be even more accessible. Subscribe and spread. Relatedly, Earth Life, Earth Long Weekend, Earth Day. We, for the sake of creating more advocacy and accessibility, have changed Prithvi Seva Sangha into Loving Earth. We want to have an impact in our universities, high schools, so we're using English terms. And so we have an Instagram account. Please follow Loving Earth's Instagram account. 2 applications, got it? And now the third I'll talk about more tomorrow. Today we start our Running from the Mind community. Right before joining all of you, I registered for the half marathon in Cleveland, which I will run on September 28th. And so will you. Yes. Oh, there's your giggle again. I be serious and you all become humorous. I'll share more about that. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. I offer my prayers to Bhagwan Hanumana to continue to grace us with his buddhi, with his dhriti. Be joy.